The hell was that? Something's getting eaten. Happens all the time. I need to do one thing before I go to bed. See if they can give me some answers. They said to come back when the lanterns have been lit. What lantern? Oh, that lantern. Well, guess I'm gonna have to sleep on it. I got no choice. Hang on a minute. Yeah, actually, hold that. No? Oh well. Actually, yeah. Put you there. Oh, no? You feel like the floor's your best space? Fine. Nose to the grindstone. I like that. Huh?
Barely keep track of them all. Let's begin with the most unlikely. Mama is a ghost.
Really?
She has never existed. Mama is a fabrication created by those truly at the cruel heart of the Tower Collective to serve as a symbol under which to unify their impressionable masses. Next, we have Mama is dead. Followed closely by she is deathly ill. Then, of course, one of my personal favorites, Mama is afraid of her people. So she hides, knowing that the Tower's time as the dominant voice of Nola is drawing to a close. Its collapse imminent once the blindly obedient finally realize there is so much more for them beyond the oppressive wall. Now, I must admit, I have never laid eyes on Mama myself. My time on their side of the wall was brief as a mayfly. The Tower's ways do not reward those who believe in the power of autonomous thought. But whatever you believe, there is an undeniable truth. The Tower is in decline. Their philosophy, their lack of vision, and their cruelty have ensured their own doom. Has Mama seen it already? The end? Surely someone of her acumen can right the ship, set the Tower back on a benevolent course. And yet it appears that Mama has abandoned her flock. Why has she chosen to withdraw when the Tower is so desperately in need of strong leadership? Isn't it obvious, New Orleans? Mama knows she's already lost. She knows that we, the reclaimed, have set hearts and minds aflame with new possibilities. She knows that she can no longer compete. She knows the time has come to let go. But there are those among her ranks, I'm told, who have taken it upon themselves to double down on the failures of the Tower, to cling to worldviews that no longer hold any relevance, despite the reticence of their formerly esteemed leader. Sounds to me like the inmates have taken over the asylum. Is that where you want to place your trust, New Orleans? With a so-called community that sees you as nothing more than an expendable cog in their ever-grinding machine? Wouldn't it be wiser to embrace a philosophy that embraces the humanity that seethes inside each and every one of you? Mama is done with you. Those loyal to her and her broken ideologies will find any excuse to dispose of you. Retake control of your own destiny, my friends. Find your way to the reclaimed. We believe in you. We cannot be afraid to ignite our passions, even in the midst of the nightmare. No. It is precisely then, when the nightmare's claws are digging into the thin flesh of our fading hope, that we must defy the nightmare and live. Truly live. And make no mistake, mere survival is not living. Scrounging for crumbs like a timid field mouse, begging some simpleton who bumbled her way into the role of heartless dictator for guidance? Not me. I choose to embrace everything that makes me human. I choose to carve my own way through this new world. I am not a lowly animal. I should not be acting like one. Humor me for a moment while I recount an old Bayou legend. Many of you listening will no doubt recall the campfire tale of Charlie Boy, who met his end at the hands of the Suquillon at the Bogachita Swamp. But a lesser-known Charlie Boy tale is what I will regale you with now. As a youth, Charlie Boy was not one to adhere to rules. In fact, you could say the young lad was a bit of a miscreant. Thieving, vandalizing, terrorizing. Mischief was in his blood. And mischief is what made the man. On a sweltering summer's eve, one of those NOLA nights when the air was so thick and hot a dragonfly could barely get airborne, Charlie Boy set out from his home in the 17th Ward and skulked on over to the Garden District with revenge thumping in his chest. His family had been wronged by some rich folk landlord types who were scheming to get Charlie Boy and his family evicted for no good reason at all. Now, Charlie Boy knew there wasn't much he could do, being just a 12-year-old beanpole, but he was not about to sit idly by and let old money greed ruin his family without landing a counterpunch. So out of chicken wire, Charlie Boy molded a huge head and put an old Pulcinella mask on it, the nose stretching down to the chin. He painted the whole thing black as night. With the head on his shoulders, Charlie Boy stood a gangly 7 feet tall, a messenger from the underworld. When he found the mansion of his oppressors, midnight about to strike, he slipped over the backyard wall and scanned the opulent home for a bedroom window to tap upon and give the sleeper inside the fright of their life. Make 'em think death itself had come for 'em. Tap, tap, tap. But there was no need. The patriarch himself was lounging outside, 10 Sazeracs deep in his nightly drunken stupor, half asleep and unaware. Charlie Boy knew this was his moment. He crept up, and stood unnaturally tall behind this slob of a man, reached out and grabbed a spotty patch of thin hair atop his head and yanked. The man's head snapped back, eyes wide with terror as he stared up into the looming face of death. And his heart just stopped. In an instant, a 12-year-old boy was transformed into a man of power. A man who understood what a glorious weapon fear could be. A man who would never again allow anyone to tread upon him without consequence. In an instant, a legend was born.
Let's hope that legend lives on. The dead have grown in numbers. Don't they always? If you were to actually...
Casey the tourist. Are you there? Hello? Come in, tourist. Do you read me? Come in.
If he keeps on
Casey
raining,
the tourist.
Levy's
Are
gone.
you there? Casey the tourist. Are you there? Hello? Come in, tourist. Casey the tourist. Are you there? Hello? Come in, tourist. Hey, you there? Hello? It's Casey. If you're there, please answer. I've got a situation. Please.
I'm trying, but I don't know how to answer. Oh.
I can hear you. What is it?
Yeah, I got spooked the other day. The crash rattled me. I'm sorry. It's just... I don't know who to trust. There's not many decent options out there, but I'm getting desperate, so I need to take a chance on you. What do you think? Can you help me out? Please?
You've got my attention.
I've been hearing things from the tower radio chatter. They found something, and I need it. Bad. Problem is, I have no way to get my hands on it without help, without you. Now, I'm willing to give up what I know about the reserve in exchange. Does that sound fair?
You don't have to lay it on so thick, Casey. Tell me what you need, then I'll tell you if I'm willing to help.
A pump flow regulator. A tower patrol founded by Memorial Lane in the Garden District. It's just another useless piece of junk to them. The problem is there's a potential showdown brewing over there between the patrol and a reclaimed camp. It could get bloody. Quickly.
What else? I like to be fully informed before putting my ass on the line.
Fair enough. What do you want to know?
What's the area like?
The Garden District was one of the wealthiest areas of the city, so, no surprise, it avoided most of the flood damage. The folks hit hardest by the flood picked it as a spot for a memorial to victims. And 2 weeks later, when the dead started walking, the whole city was a damn memorial.
Why are they fighting?
Resources, territory, two opposed ways of thinking, butting heads. I mean, from everything I've been hearing on the radio the last couple of months, the bad blood just keeps getting worse. Look, I'm staying out of it, but I can feed you more details if you want.
Who's running the show for each faction?
Mama leads the tower. She founded the community. I don't know much else about her. She stays out of sight. Her right hand, her enforcer, is Georgia. She's out there on the front lines daily, and from what I hear, she's a hard ass. Not afraid to mix it up, get her hands dirty, you know? The Reclaimed rally around this guy named JB, and no clue what it stands for. He's always proselytizing over the airwaves, frequency 54.
I have to step away for a minute.
Okay, I'll be here.
I'm out.
Take care of your business. I'll wait.
Let's continue.
All right, let's get back to it.
What's your take on all this?
If the fighting keeps up, this city's gonna explode into an all-out war. The tower maintains some sort of order, right? I mean, they offer some sort of semblance of safety, sure, but they don't hesitate to toss people out if they question authority. Once the tower kicks your ass out, there's no return. It seems cruel, but I don't know. Maybe that's the way it has to be. The Reclaimed are eccentric. Let's put it that way. But JB really knows how to motivate, get people to buy into his vision. Maybe they're crazy, maybe they're onto something, I don't know, who knows. They are inspired, though, always going on about the liberation to live, not just blindly following orders to barely survive. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're both a bit fucked in the head.
How do they operate? What do they believe in?
The tower is disciplined and committed to community, and everyone has to contribute to the cause. They must be doing something right. I've heard they have close to 1,000 people inside their walls. Tower folks are fiercely loyal to their way of life. Maybe even to a fault. A bunch of loose cannons in the Reclaimed. It's hard to know what they're up to most of the time. Their tactics are all about surprise and intimidation. Guerrilla warfare mentality. And they love creeping the tower people out. Weird rituals and stuff. They seem less interested in control and more into sending a message.
I've heard enough info on the conflict.
Okay. Sorry. I know I can ramble sometimes.
I'm ready to do this.
The pump regulator is a piece of industrial equipment about the size of a coffee maker. Pipes, switches, knobs. You'll know it when you see it. Now, the Tower Patrol has it at their camp. Red House on Memorial Lane. And remember, Reclaimed are nearby, so you might get caught in the middle of a scrap between them. Now, once you have it in hand, hustle back to the radio and contact me. Time is not on my side. If you pull this off, I'll spill everything I know about the reserve. You have my word.
Alright. And first things first. I'm gonna go that way. See what the chick gives me. Or whatever.
I know Omri is dead, and I know that for the time being you've stepped into his shoes, whoever you are. I am not in the habit of trusting people these days. Trust gets you dead when it's given to the wrong person, and there is a lot of wrong out there. But I am willing to set prejudice aside for a few moments so we can have a little chat, see if we can work together. I'm assuming you scored a few useful things out of that last tower cache. Well, there's more where that came from. As long as nothing happens to me. Understood? Get yourself to the churchyard. I will unlock the gate so you can reach the area. Stay out in the open. If I am satisfied you are alone, you will see me.
Looks like I have a choice to make. This one seems quicker. This'll be quick. I promise you. Okay, maybe not so quick. The gates? I assume this is the place you were talking about? Move through the catacombs. Is this not the churchyard? Perhaps not. Oh, this has been opened. Okay.